everyone, it's me, Becky from Bubba's Bakery, in case you didn't know. I've had quite a few emails from people recently asking me if I'd consider doing some tutorials for you guys, so I thought, why not? Challenge accepted. So I have compiled my first video tutorial. It's to make some really easy, cute cupcakes, and it's little plant pot cupcakes. I don't know if you can see too well because of the camera quality, but there you go. They're really easy to make, and hopefully it shouldn't take too long, so watch on if you want to find out how to make them with me. Hopefully if you're still watching this, it means you're going to try and attempt these with me. So the first thing you're going to need are little flower pots. You can get these from garden centres, you can get them from eBay. I got these from Hobbycraft. They're really cheap, really easy to pick up. And then obviously you're going to need some cupcakes. I've made some chocolate ones because I thought chocolate looks like dirt in a good way. But yeah, that's all you really need to get started. I've got an example of what it's going to look like once it's in the pot, and I'll show you what to do now. Okay, now all I've done is trimmed the sides of my cupcakes because they're a tiny bit too big to fit in the pots. But all you need to do is trim the sides unless they fit already, and then you just pop them into your flower pot. They might need a bit of a press down at the sides, but once they're nice in there firmly, then we can continue on with our flower pot cupcakes. Okay, so the next part is a little bit tricky, I'm afraid. It's not too difficult. If I can do it, I'm sure you can. You're just going to need a few little things. I've got some fondant which is pre-coloured. I've got purples and pinks, flowery colours, but even if you just want some plain white flowers, that will be fine as well. And then I've also got some cutters from good craft stores or baking stores, or you can even pick these up on eBay really cheap. They're basically just little flower cutters, and what you do is you press them into the fondant, press that down, and then it imprints the flowers for you, gives it a really nice effect. So it does all the work for you really, but you claim all the credit. And then you need a painting palette just to lay the flowers in, so you don't have to buy one of those really expensive flower formers. So this is what I use, and I'll show you what to do next. So all you're going to do is roll out the fondant, which is really simple. You just need a tiny bit of icing sugar, and then you get your fondant. You need little bits at a time because you're only going to do little flowers. And then roll that out. I'm using a plastic non-stick rolling pin, which is an absolute lifesaver because wooden rolling pins, you tend to get all the fondant stuck on them. But once you've rolled this out quite thin as you can go, fondant doesn't go quite as thin as sugar paste, but sugar paste takes a longer time to dry, and you only want to do this for fun, so I'm using fondant for this example. And then all you need to do is get your flower cutters and start cutting. I'm not sure if you can see the imprint on this, but it's really tiny. Looks just like a little daisy. Now you pretty much got to do the same thing, only with green fondant and some leaf cutters. Just cut out as many leaves as you want. You don't have to have them. I think it looks pretty with them, but it's entirely up to you. Just get cutting once again. Once you've finished cutting out all your leaves and your flowers, then it's time for the assembly part of the cupcake. We've already got the cupcakes in the plant pots, so what we need to do now is put something on there for the flowers to stick to. I'm actually going to cover half of the cupcake with a little bit of fondant, just so that once you put all your flowers on, you can't really see too much cupcake on the bottom of it. It's entirely up to you if you want to do this or not. I just really like clean looking cupcakes, and I don't know, I just don't like the thought of seeing dirt in between them. So yeah, entirely up to you. It will also give them something to stick to. If you don't want to use buttercream, you can use edible glue. But once again, use your discretion. You don't have to follow everything I do. That's the great thing about creativity. It means different things to different people. So just put some fondant right in the middle of the cupcake. Doesn't have to be perfect, but I'm a bit of a perfectionist, so in my eyes it does. And then once that's done, you can start doing the fun bit, which is putting on the leaves and then putting on the flowers. It's probably easier to put the leaves on first, just because then you don't have to kind of root under the flowers to try and stick them in. So we're going to do that now. What I've got is a little bit of chocolate buttercream. You don't have to use this, it's just something I had in my fridge. So usually I use edible glue, but I thought this would be a bit tastier to do. You get your leaves, and all you need to do is put a tiny little dab of chocolate buttercream on the back of it. If you put too much in, it might kind of ooze out underneath it. You don't want that. So then all you need to do is just press them onto your cupcake. I have them hanging over slightly because you always have leaves that kind of fall over, and it'll just make it look a little bit more realistic. And then put as many as you want on, wherever you want to put them. Bear in mind that you can be putting the flowers on top of them, so just try and think of that when you're placing them on your cupcake. You can try and do a nice pattern or anything you want really. Just stick them on there. I did tell you this is really easy. I think they look harder than they actually are, but depends how used to baking you are, I suppose. And then you need to do this to both of your cupcakes, so I'll get busy with that. Now that all the leaves are on, we can start putting the flowers on and really bring our cupcakes to life. You can do it however you want, any random order. Just do what you think looks best and what you think looks prettiest, really. Now you watch as mine go really wrong, even though they're so simple to make. I'd probably say if you did larger flowers, to try and stick these all in the middle, and then what you can do to fill up the space is put slightly smaller flowers in the little nooks and crannies that you can't really reach with the bigger ones. Now that's done, we're literally just going to add one more finishing touch and then your cupcakes are finished. I've got some little pearls here. Once again, you can't really see it. There you go. These are really easy to pick up. You can pick them up from the supermarkets. They're edible. You can get them in different colours. Or if you wanted to colour them yourself, if you pick up little bags like this, put them in and add either food paste or food colouring or even luster dust, and then just give it a shake, and then the colour should rub off onto all of the pearls. And then what you want to do, I've got some edible glue here, which I'm emptying into the lid, but you can use water, you can use anything really. Even if you want to use buttercream, you can do a really tiny little smidgen on the pearl. And then get your brush, paint in the centre of the flower, and all we're going to do, just lightly press them in, just to finish off the middles of your flowers. As I said before, it can get very fiddly doing these, so you do need a steady hand and a bit of patience, but it's all worth it in the end when you've got some beautiful cupcakes. And then your cupcakes are finished. Now that the cupcakes are finished, it's entirely up to you what you want to do with them. You can eat them, you can keep them on your kitchen window and look at them, or you can give them to a friend or a family member just to say I love you and keep smiling. Anything you want to do with them is up to you. But thank you for bearing with me. I'm sure this probably wasn't the best video tutorial in the world, but it's my first one, so thank you for watching and thank you for all your support. And if you've got any requests or you actually want to see another one of my videos, then just comment or email me with what you want to see and I'll see if I can do that for you. But I hope you enjoyed it. It's been strange talking to myself in front of a camera, but hopefully you loved it and hopefully you've got some really nice cupcakes at the end of it. So thumbs up to you guys. Bye.